anniversary, November 16th, 2025. Back in 1997, when I was barely 15, my tutor, Mr. Bacon, at the elitist Markham College in Lima, recommended to that miserable headmaster, Mr. Baker, may he twist in his grave, that I be held back a year. Even though in science and especially mathematics, I was among the top 10 of my class, and in the mediocre Mr. Machado literature course, I had written 280-page books, truly admirable for a boy my age. My parents never understood the abuse inflicted upon me. They punished me, and I had to repeat every subject, watching us the following year, 1998, my former classmates entered the class that should have been mine. Now, the class that saw me repeat is celebrating 25 years since graduation, just as my original class did last year. And although I maintain good relations with those I still see from that promotion, I haven't taken part in any celebration, for I cannot forget the humiliations I suffered during those sad years, and the ones yet to come. I cannot forget the false and unjust legends woven about me and whispered behind my back in mockery, as if I was some plague or unwanted scum spread across all Lima. I cannot forget what I came to understand later at Universidad del Pacifico, where I would spend the happiest years of my life. In the political science course of my beloved professor, Cynthia Sanborn, where I was born again, recognizing the fierce radical politics that made me rise from my desk and howl against the homophobic abuse of that bastard, Mr. Stratton, a worm of corruption, who together with the wretched Mr. Wilkinson conspired to blacklist weak students, tormenting them and turning them into the mockery of the whole class. A few years later, when I was an impetuous, passionate young man, restless in politics and eager to defy authority, I wrote the deed that would be greater, or La hazaña que será mejor así. One of the last stories that would become chapters of an unpublishable novel I nearly burned in a fit of madness. That was when I earned a long-lasting censure from the powerful during Alan Garcia's second government, in which I once participated. For the 20 long years that followed, a powerful politician who ruled Peru without being president, only through a Congress of crooks, prolonged that censure, harming even herself in her tantrum after losing 3 consecutive elections, rejected by the people for her utter lack of charisma. Her only virtue being the daughter of a dictator with some remaining popularity. The truth is that since rebellion is leftist by nature, and I was a rebel with the most just cause on earth, I challenged the empire and authority, and I ended up confined in a psychiatric clinic tied to a bed by hands and feet. 20 years later, after returning from my graduate studies at the Sorbonne in Paris, where I lived 2 unforgettable years, I began writing a weekly column on my website, so censored as well, even though I had shown my repentance from rebelling against the unipolar empire. I became a poet, devoted myself to poetry, and lived within it day by day, accompanied by music, photography, cinema, and art. Now, in maturity, I can look back on my trajectory as a political animal, always, even while lately I write love poems. And I remember you. For I remember you, my loyal companion, with whom we sought justice by our own means. And I see you still so beautiful, fighting for your cause, an admirable leader I support. In those days I dreamt of the unconditional woman I never had, the one I always imagined. I don't know why I attract mad women, but you're not mad. You fill my life with music. I dream of your kittens. You are extremely beautiful. What I admire in you is that youthful vehemence that makes you act before thinking, because you're so young. How I wish I had your age. But with my 200 years of experience that I commemorate today, as I dedicate these lines to you, I would like to stop you just a moment, make you reflect on your impulsive acts. You do and say wild things, but you're not crazy. I once was, at your age, but it was for love. Now, raising my elbow with a glass of fine liquor, while my former classmates celebrate their anniversary at the school, I swore never to set foot in again. Remember you, I recall that story. It will be better this way, or la hazaña que será mejor así, that I wrote when I was very young. For the resentment I held toward those teachers against whom I swore revenge, whether we won or lost, no longer matters. Form has expired. Some of them, indeed, twisting their graves. And I am no longer here to rebel against anyone. For now it is the children who rebel against me. It is now because of your lovelessness, and though I forgive you now forever, that I recall that night when I, overwhelmed by my raging hormones, amid days of wild orgies with high-class prostitutes, writing with my green fountain pen on bond paper the voices echoing in my mind, and I and my solitude held a sacred midnight ceremony in which, cut in my veins and soaked in my own blood, I swore to give my life to revolution, without knowing what I wanted, what the revolution would be, or how it would unfold, trusting only in one thing, that I, and only I, would be capable of it all, whether you or she were there beside me.